This is really funny. Am I in the center? ¿Quién sabe? Bueno. Um, I had an extremely transformative day today. And it's always the days that are really long and in hindsight and it hasn't even been a full 12 hours. So I say hindsight very lightly, very loosely. It's always the days that feel like a little unreal, a little almost unprompted and unplanned that feel the most transformative. Last year, it was a day that I had gotten off of work. This was actually 2 years ago. This was not last year. Last year was a different one. 2 years ago. Wow, it's already been 2 years. 2 years ago, I had a day in which I got off of work and I accidentally like skipped my stop. Well, I didn't accident. It was like by accident, but it was because I was talking to somebody and I was very conscious of the fact that I was missing my stop. And then because I was having this conversation, I was enjoying it. I was like, okay, I guess we're just like not going home. Like I don't know where I'm gonna end up, but I'm not going home. And then some guy sat next to me in the train. I asked him where he was going, and he took me where he was going. And I had a crazy, 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 crazy day. And it was like to this day it's like one of my favorite stories. Like it all of it just felt like out of a fairy tale, not even a movie would not tell the story that I had. And I think today was made out of that same cloth of it was just magical and whimsical and a beautiful, beautiful day that I will never be able to forget. So I saw a sign on Instagram a while ago. I want to say it was maybe at the end of January. I can't remember, but it was a few weeks ago. That was like, is your birthday coming up? We're doing birthday shoots for free. And I was like, okay, cool. Like, let's do a shoot. And I had no idea of like what I was getting myself into. I just like put in my email, and then they called me. And at first, I was like avoiding their phone calls, but then eventually, I was like, you know what? Let me just get into it, right? And why was I avoiding their phone calls? Because not avoiding, but like there was one time that they called me and I was like, "Can I call you back?" And like me being the person I am, I was definitely not gonna call them back. So they called me back and we talked, and I was like, "It's a white woman. I guess it's gonna be like an all white space." But then as we were talking, she explained to me their mission and how the process goes and how you have a long conversation with the photographer before you do anything about why they're there and like how it's going to go and just become really comfortable. And I think I had seen some pictures and I was really scared that it was going to be like a room full of white women and just like me being kind of hippie, kind of like weird, like I don't know. But she explained to me how it was semi nude. Did I know that? I don't think I knew that. I don't think until she told me, I don't think I knew that. And so when she said it, I was like, okay, sure, whatever that means. And then I think at that point, I had looked at their pictures and I saw bodies of all sizes. I saw obviously all skin tones. And well, that's not obviously, but I did see a lot of different skin tones. And I was like, okay, I'm not gonna put too much pressure on this. If it's free, like if I hate it, then I hate it, and if I love it, then maybe they did what they're doing well. Like, let's see. So, leading up to it, I was pretty excited about it. There were no nerves outside of the fact that I think I am an awkward poser. I think I'm awkward in pictures. I think I'm a little awkward in real life. So especially in pictures, I'm a little awkward. And that worries me because the last time I went to a photo shoot, I just remember going home and feeling like so cringy and like so out of myself. Like I don't know if it was a photographer and like they were also kind of inexperienced. So I just didn't feel great. But with this one, it was really important that I didn't put that much pressure on myself. And they explained that they usually walk you through the process. So like I was pretty comfortable with that. I was like, okay, I hope that like these people tell me what to do the entire time because I'm not gonna know what to do. And like that's why we're here. That's why we're here. I also, just to get into why I even did it, because I can see how this is something that someone might consider extreme or even just a little out there. Maybe just a little out there. Since I was a young child, I have struggled with my sense of worth, to say the least, and my sense of presence and value and regard. I remember as a young child, I would sit on the ground, and this is like Dominican Republic ground. Like, I'm not talking about the ground of a house, I'm talking about like the ground floor. I would sit on the ground with my knees to my chest, telling myself repeatedly, with tears, with like full on tears, nobody loves me, nobody likes me, nobody wants me around. And you might wonder how I came to that conclusion. I couldn't tell you. But what I can say is that that belief has informed so many aspects of my behaviors throughout the years and just how I go about life in general, that a few years ago I started to take note of it. I think the cool thing about this is the fact that like I was always the child and the kid and the teenager that in school was like gifted and would always get the highest praises from the teachers. And I don't know if teachers' pet fits all that well, but I was definitely spending my lunches with my teachers. My teachers are still, to this day, I talk to my teachers, you know? So I felt like I excelled at things very easily. So the fact that my self esteem and my sense of worth had always been a challenge for me just didn't sit right with me. It just didn't make any sense. Like logically, I to this day I'm just like it just makes no sense. Especially when I talk about these things with the people that have ever loved me or cared about me. They're confused, and it's like I'm confused. So why they're confused? So it's this whole dance that I've been going on, or I've been doing for the last few years. And I think around the time when I turned 21 and I'm about to be 24, I kind of just hit a wall where I was just like, I can't do this anymore. I can't do it anymore. I really can't do it anymore. I don't want to. It's such a like it's like living your life on mode difficult, like extra hard, like the hardest level there is, and that's just every day. And I know it sounds extreme, but it kind of feels extreme. Like it doesn't make any logical mathematical sense for me to have such a difficult and like rough view of myself when I have given myself very little reason to think so low of myself. It just makes no sense. It makes no sense. Like, si tú lo piensas, si tú te pones a pensar, si tú pones cabeza a pensamiento, no hace sentido. Entonces, I had to just be like, okay, what are we gonna do now? Like, what happens now? Like, now that I'm aware of the fact that I'm really struggling with this, that I have been struggling with this for most of my life, if not all of it, ¿qué hacemos? ¿Qué hacemos? And I think a big part of it too is just like existing in the world and how people have responded to my existence, like being catcalled so often, my parents being kind of mean to me growing up, the things that have happened in my life that have altered how I view others and view myself and vice, like just back and forth, right? Um, but I reached a point where I was like, ya no puedo más. Ja, I can't keep carrying this. It's too heavy. And I just admire women who are in their 30s and 40s or even who are in their teens right now who just like carry themselves with this grace and confidence and this like deep knowledge that they're bad, they're sexy, they're here, and they don't care if you see them or not, because they see themselves and they're going to always put themselves first. I just admire that. Like I want that. I need that fire. I need to experience what it's like to just walk through life thinking this is mine. All of this is mine. Um I'm having a good old time. I look good. I feel good. I dress good. I smell good. And I was like, I don't know what I have to do to get there, but that's where we're going. I don't know how we're going to get there. And this photo shoot just felt like it was perfectly timed, because I'm about to turn 24, so it's been a while since I've been actively taking steps towards becoming that version of myself, one that really like just looks in the mirror and is like in love with herself. And for the last few years, even though I'm aware of the fact that I want my mindset to change, it's hard to actually change it. It's been really, really, really hard. So I've reached points where I'm just like, it's never gonna happen. It's never gonna happen. I'm always gonna hate myself. I'm always gonna feel a little bad about myself. I'm always gonna feel a little ugly, despite all the evidence that I have against those beliefs. But specifically in the last few months, I've just been feeling like, you know what, like it just makes sense even less now. It's just I've reached a point where I'm just like, even like I'm tired of feeling it. Like I'm bored. Let's feel something different. So one of my New Year's resolution was to feel sexier, to get sexier, to just embrace that more. So when I saw this ad for the photo shoot and I saw that it was free, 99 gratis. I'm in there, like swimwear. So I was just excited to see what this could do for me, in this journey that I've been on. And if I hated it, what do I lose? What do I lose other than like 2 hours? Like that's really all I lost. And I think the good thing about it too is that if this would have been like ven la próxima semana, like come tomorrow, I probably wouldn't have done it. But because I spoke to them and made this appointment, maybe I think it was over a month ago. Like I remember when I made the appointment, I was like, that's so far out. But I think the fact that it was so far out allowed me to really accept the fact that I was doing this and just go and just like see what happens there. Like decide if I hate it there. Also, there was this like $50 deposit that I was like, okay, like I could cancel 48 hours beforehand and they would refund it to me. But like if I don't, ¿qué pasa? I don't like it. Okay, it's free. It's whatever. They're gonna refund the $50 regardless. Entonces, cuando yo fui, um, immediately when I got to the door, I saw another black woman, and for a second, I was like, I can't tell if they're part of the team, because I was under the impression that it was only one person at a time. Like just like fully, like you have like the full studio to like the way they made it sound was like you have the full studio to yourself for the time that you're appointed to. So when I saw her, it was her and two other women. I was like, oh my god, maybe they're like the makeup artists or maybe they're like the photographers. Like I was feeling already so comfortable. But then when we got inside, one of them was a model, and everyone else on like not everyone else, but every makeup artist was black. The person that greeted us at the door when we were trying to get in and we couldn't was black. Um, when we got upstairs, I believe one of the photographers was black. I saw, I won't get into that now, but it was so nice. And, I sat down, I was talking to the girl that I met outside, and I felt like by me talking to her, even though like I felt almost invasive, because she was just like staying to herself. We were sitting across from each other, and I randomly was just like, okay, so when's your birthday? And then we just started talking, and she told me how she was feeling nervous. And I was like, okay, maybe me having, because at the end of the conversation, when they came to get her for the photo shoot, she went before I did with a different photographer. She had mentioned that she was feeling nervous, and because it was out there, and I remember thinking like, when she said that she was nervous, I was like, why don't I feel nervous? Why don't I feel like this is a little wild, like a little out there? And she mentioned like our age difference, and I was like, maybe it is because I'm in my 20s. I don't know. But she had said that she had just turned 32 or 31 or something like that. And by the end of the conversation, she looked like she was a little more excited and a little less scared, like a little less reserved. So I hope that me being a little weird, a little excited helped her feel a little more comfortable. They brought us water, which was really cute because they had these pink straws. And if you know anything about it, I love pink. So eventually the photographer came to get me, and she was a sweet woman. It's always really complicated for me when people are like sweet and nice to me immediately, because I'm like, I can't tell if you're pretending or not. But the entire time that I spent with her, she was just a lovely, lovely, like bright person. Like, and another thing is that she was also like so honest with me, in a way that she was just like a vulnerable, real person. And I'm not gonna like be like, it's so hard to find real people nowadays, but it is refreshing when you meet people who kind of like break the shields of what people think that they're supposed to be like. Like her being my photographer, I thought she was going to be like kind of serious and kind of like just like straight to the point, like let's get to it. But while we were doing the photo session, we had these vulnerable conversations that felt very like, it felt very Barbie. And I love a Barbie moment. I love a Barbie moment. So like I know so many beautiful things about this woman now. Like we had a conversation about her divorce and her being a mom, and the peace that like not dating and not trying to be in a relationship with another man has brought her. And it was so refreshing to me to for me to hear those things, because I'm constantly hearing stories about women my age or younger or older who are settling for men and who are getting into these spaces because of men and that are like ruining their lives. So whenever I hear women embracing that they could just be alone and be happy with that, babe, listen, you got both ears tuned in. She gave me really good directions with the photos. We did so many different sessions. It was like way more elaborate than I thought it would be. Like I thought it was like a like you kind of like choose the kind of photos that you want to do while you talk to the photographer or whatever. But no, they have this like whole rotation where it's like they do one part of the body and another part of the body. Like the first few poses was standing. Then it was laying down, it was sitting up, it was on my belly, it was on my belly propped up. It was a whole thing. It was a whole thing. And for everything that she did, it was so consensual. Like she had to drape me. That's another thing. I keep forgetting that. I keep forgetting to mention that. They have drapes. I got to choose the color of my drape, which was really nice. I didn't think I was gonna be able to do that. I thought that it was all like red drapes. And I picked the color that I've been currently obsessed with, which is like a brownish, reddish color. And I was so happy when I saw it because I was like, I didn't think they were gonna have this like niche ass color. It was like burgundy, but like add mocha to it. I don't know. So yeah, she had to like touch the drape and put it on things and have me like hand me things. And yeah, I just felt like it was very collaborative, and I learned that I'm extremely comfortable with being naked around people in a way where I had to stop and ask like, hey, like is this normal? And she was like, yeah, some people are like that and some other people are not. Some other people are okay doing certain things around like public. Like I would never go to the gym with shorts and a bra, but I would get naked. I would get naked in front of somebody who's taking pictures of me who I just met 5 minutes ago. I would do that. It's so yeah. After that, they brought me a little. Well, she brought me a little the little snacks, the little cheeses, the little crackers. I don't know how to pronounce that. And the really nice cocktail not alcoholic mocktail, little juice, little una bebida, no sé, una vaina. Tenía chinola, yo creo que también tenía mango, or no sé, but it was really, really, really good. It was really good. It would have been so good with alcohol, but I'm very glad that it didn't have alcohol. Estaba sabrosísima. So it just put like the cherry on top because I was already feeling really good about how the session had gone, and when they brought out that snack, rulai, right? Um, but then after a few minutes, she came to get me. And when she came to get me, she looked like she had just won an award or something. Like she looked geeked. She was geeked. So then I was like, "You look happy." And she was like, "You're gonna die when you see these pictures." And we were going through them. She was asking me between one or two, like from each little set of poses. She was asking me to like choose my favorites, and we had done 86 photos in total. And she was like, "I love that you're really good with your yeses and nos," which is something I've worked on, chat. I've worked on being less indecisive. Thank you. It was really easy for me to be like, "Ooh, I don't like this. Ooh, I like that one. I really don't like that one. I hate that one. Ooh, I love her. Let's do her." So she was like, "It's really impressive that we were able to go from 86 photos to 26 photos." And at the end of it, the whole deal, the whole concept was that you only get to keep one, but you can always pay for more. However, pues los paquetes de foto eran $4,000. ¿Cómo así? Actually, mentira. Un cuadro de ese tamaño. Es más flaco que esto. Di que $4,000. After she explained the prices to me, talking about some thousands of dollars, I was like, I'm not gonna lie, I can't afford it. And eventually I was just like, I'll just take the one photo. She was like, that's completely fine. That is completely okay. I got it was what was really surprising to me is that even though I have worked on my indecisiveness and being able to like say yes and no's very easily, very like strongly, and of course I'm not perfect at it, I was so surprised and pleased with the fact that there was one picture that like stood out to me in a way where I was like, I can't leave this building without that picture. And I didn't think that I was going to have that feeling of like, I know that's the one that I want. I thought that I would struggle a little bit. I thought that I would have at least five that I would be like, oh my God, but it's just this and it's just that. And I'm not gonna say that like there weren't more pictures that I would have loved to keep, but it was just that one photo that I was like, I hashtag need that. I think another interesting part of that too is the fact that in the shoot midway, I was like, does my face look weird? I just feel like I'm not like making the right faces. Like I look a little, and again, this is my insecurities of like feeling like I look awkward and like I feel like I look like uncool in photos. And she was like, "You look perfect." And not only that, she also like, because I of course like she asked me why am I here, and I shared that I have issues with my self esteem and with feeling ugly, and obviously she had the same reaction that everyone does, where like, "Girl, you're beautiful. Like, what are you talking about?" Um, so when I asked, she kind of like took a pause and she was like, "You look perfect. You look angelic," actually. And those were her words. And of course, when she said that to me, I was like, she's just saying that because, like, she's a photographer. Like, she wants me to feel good. She needs me to feel good. So these pictures can come out good. But, like, I have to, like, be looking weird. And this picture that I ended up choosing was a picture that very clearly showed my face. And I think it was the one that most clearly showed my face out of all of them, because that's something else that she mentioned after I asked that. She was like, these pictures are not focused on face. Most of the time they're kind of just like emphasizing your body, and like there are, well, actually no, I'm so sorry, she was saying that about the specific session that we were in, but she I think that eventually we moved to like the face focus parts of the photo session. So Yet the photo that I chose, it was so interesting that as soon as she showed me the first picture, I was like, wait. I was like, wait, guys, hold on. I'm kind of beautiful. Wait. Why didn't anybody tell me? Nobody was gonna tell me. So y'all were just like holding that a secret, or why didn't anybody tell me that I'm a little beautiful? Like, so the more that she kept showing me in all these different angles, and of course she was also so excited about them and like affirming me a lot through them. Um, it was just I felt, and I said this, I was like, I felt my brain chemistry changing in real time looking at those photos, because it's always interesting to see yourself from an outsider's perspective, especially when it's like HD 4K. Tú no puedes negarlo. Está ahí puesto en el screen. And she also was like, these are unedited, so this is how you look, babe, like raw. Like this is just what you look like. And I don't know, bro. I was like, damn, should I resubmit the model agencies, the agency digitals? Like, should I tap in? But let's not get ahead to ourselves too much. Let's one step at a time, baby steps, baby steps. Estamos aquí hoy. And after that, I was feeling really good, of course. You know, I bonded with her. I bonded with her so well. And again, it felt like such a Barbie moment. I loved it. I love a good Barbie moment. And I got a rose on my way out because they had roses for the models. And I went to see my Pookie after. I went to do my homework at their house. And yeah, she was sitting on the couch. And I was just sitting there doing my homework. And then we watched Ab Elementary, and then I came home. So it just felt like a very complete day, because not only did I do something for myself that felt transformative, but I also went and did something for myself that I need to do, and it's like on my to-do list. And I also made a to-do list. I made a to-do list. Thank you very much, everybody. Clap. Um. So yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Tengo sueño, hay que dormir.